Welcome back everyone, it's Charlie. This is my Loki Season 2 trailer video. We finally have some footage from D23 and there's a ton of brand new footage and Easter eggs. It's a big trailer. They confirm what's going on with some of the new characters and what's going on with the new version of the TVA, this new timeline, so I'll explain that. And what's going on with Kang, Loki, Sylvie, Mobius, Renslayer. Pretty much everybody's coming back from Season 1. So we'll go through all the footage, it's really cool. If you're brand new to the channel, I will be doing videos for all the episodes just like Season 1. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. It'll be releasing in the summer of next year, 2023, probably around the same time Loki Season 1 premiered, that means June. But just starting at the beginning of the trailer footage, it starts with a ding of the elevator in the TVA, like that main elevator reaching the main floor, and our main Loki, who came back to this new timeline version of the TVA at the end of Season 1, walks out, all careful like he has no idea what's going on, he's really scared, very unsure, and he sees someone from the TVA reading from like a small manual in the main room. He says hello, like he's unsure of what's going on or who this person is, but then immediately glitches out, and this happens several times throughout the trailer, where they make it seem like, at least for him specifically, time is broken and he glitches all over this new version of the TVA. That probably has something to do with the events of the Kang Multiverse War, because throughout the trailer he's trying to explain the Kang Multiverse War to Mobius and what's going on with Kang himself and all of Kang's variants. Like the Kang Multiverse War itself is causing time to change and break. This creepy music box type of soundtrack comes into the trailer and plays across the entire trailer just to make you feel as uneasy as possible, like everything has changed and he's trying to figure out what's changed as he's going throughout the different trailer scenes. Like what's different, what's gone wrong, why does everybody seem so weird? And even though they cut the trailer footage out of order, the first place he glitches to in the trailer is a brand new office on a new floor. Like there are a bunch of new locations that they go to in the TVA, like you would expect them to do in Season 2. It's this massive location, like this entire bubble, this little pocket dimension, so of course they're going to explore it through future seasons of the show. But the office that he glitches to is completely empty, like there's nobody there, it's super weird, things get a little bit more uneasy. They jump cut to the main control room, like the main room here that they showed several times during Season 1. There's no one there with him, there's no one around him, but all the computer consoles around him are glitching out. It's sort of like something has happened and everyone has temporarily disappeared. I think that also has something to do with the events of the Kang Multiverse War, changing the timeline, so to speak. They jump cut to him on a desert landscape outside, and there's a different scene that they cut on top of it, a voiceover of him trying to explain the events of Season 1 and Kang to Mobius. And he says, "This is going to sound strange. I've been pulled through time," and as he's saying that, there's another scene of him being pulled through time, literally glitching across a hallway like he's breakdancing through time and space. His voiceover speech says, "I've seen terrible things," and they show him in a new room of the TVA, and it seems like there's some special power source, like it's a circular room that's all white, and there's something glowing at the center of it that he's looking at. He says he's seen awful things, continuing what now seems like a debrief session with the new version of Mobius in one of the interrogation rooms, so that might be where the entire voiceover conversation early on is coming from. He's still wearing his TVA outfit that he had at the end of Season 1, so this seems like it's like right at the beginning of Season 1 where he finds Mobius and has to re-explain everything, like this is who I am, you know me, even though you technically don't know me, like this is the first time that this version of Mobius has seen him. There's a scene of him in another new room with someone from the TVA dressed in what looks like a very Kang-themed outfit, like something similar to what He Who Remains Kang was wearing at the end of Season 1. He also has some gold bands and purple robes. It seems like it's inspired by the Rama Tut outfit, like something from ancient Egypt. And he destroys a painting on the wall depicting the timekeepers holding the sacred timeline in their hands, like it's a wall painting depicting the Miss Minutes video that we saw at the beginning of Season 1. Loki uses one of the TVA weapons to remove it, revealing behind the wall is this giant gold statue of Kang's face, and it's kind of like the one above Renslayer's desk in the judge's offices during Season 1, except that was a wooden carving of the timekeepers' faces, but this time it's of Kang's face, like he's trying to reveal the truth, who is behind the timekeepers. It was Kang all along. Post all your Agatha memes. As they slowly zoom out on Kang's face, you can also see this blue head that seems like it's been severed in the front here, like it's meant to be a parallel for Season 1 when they cut the head off of the Timekeeper robots. You also see Mobius over on the left here, so it seems like there's a bunch of them in this room here, and he's just trying to explain to them the truth of the matter, like this is what's really going on with Kang. They confirmed the release date is next summer. Like I said, it's probably going to be around the same time that Loki Season 1 premiered, at least it's probably what they're planning, which would make it in June. They reveal another room inside the TVA. This one has a lattice dome revealing the sky in this little pocket dimension the TVA occupies outside the main timeline. Like you see a lot of the space outside the TVA through different buildings. Then they're in another new room revealing that Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once is playing a brand new character. They actually brought him on stage during the D23 presentation, like, guess who we got? They said that he's playing a TVA archivist, and the room they're in just seems like an archives room where they store really dangerous or really important items that they don't just outright destroy or send to the trash planet. And Loki makes an everything everywhere all at once reference. He says, "This is about everything" during this scene while they cut this in the trailer. Then there's another new scene of Sylvie in a record store in the past, maybe it's in the 70s or the 80s, when records were more prevalent. And she's just in this record store listening to records. Then there's a new scene of Casey walking through the back rooms of what seems like the TVA, like this little crowded room in the back of everything, some secret place. Then Loki tells Mobius there's nothing to stand between this world and utter destruction. They show another new character. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be. He's obviously referencing the Kang Multiverse War and the changing timeline. They jump to the movie premiere episode in the 1970s. I've already done a much bigger video about this because the movie that's premiering here is the Zaniac movie, which itself is a comic book character. So it's like a reference within a reference within a reference. So it's a very meta episode because Zaniac himself is sort of like a parody on comic book characters inside the MCU. And at this particular movie theater, there's a bunch of those fake in-universe MCU movies that themselves are references to other real-life Marvel movies. I'll post a link in the description for my other longer video on that because there are a lot of Easter eggs in different parts of the scene that they didn't include in the trailer. Like Kingo's original movie is also playing at this movie theater because this is in the 1970s. Then Loki steps into a tank-like room through a metal door. They finally reveal the first footage of Renslayer. She's wearing white, like she's all surprised looking at something. She has a new haircut, so I'm assuming this might be the same version. They jump back to the scene of Loki revealing Kang's face, and he tells Mobius, "War is coming," obviously talking about the Kang Multiverse War. There's another new scene of Loki fighting a couple different TVA agents at the same time in this domed room using his magic. There's a bunch of new scenes of Loki in that Zaniac episode in his tux during the 1970s running through the streets trying to catch the Zaniac character. Then there's another scene of Loki inside a new TVA room with consoles and screens everywhere, and he's glitching into it, so like it's during all the scenes of him glitching around the TVA, but he's falling through midair, and it's a big joke similar to the Thor Ragnarok joke where he falls out of midair like Doctor Strange's trap. "I've been falling for 30 minutes, only this time he's been glitching for 30 minutes or whatever through time and space across the TVA in a bunch of this episode." Then they jump back to the Zaniac episode when they're at the movie premiere, and Mobius jokes that this is all just a little over the top, don't you think? Which they also use as a joke about the entire Loki series, like the trailer itself, like, don't you think the premise of Loki Season 2 is a little ridiculous and over the top? And of course, Loki replies to him, like within context, "I thought it was spot on." Like he thinks that the Zaniac movie is a good movie. But it's also a bit of a joke about Tom Hiddleston himself saying the Loki series is the best series ever. Of course, Loki would say that his own series is the best. But the other joke is that during this scene, there are two Lokis here. Like this seems like another variant of Loki or something weird is going on. Then they have a super quick montage of a bunch of different scenes. It starts with Loki in his regular uniform explaining things to Mobius again at the beginning of the season. There's another scene of Loki and Mobius in his regular uniform looking at someone behind a desk. There's another scene of Loki trying to pry open the main TVA elevator doors because it's not working right. There's a scene of Mobius inside a spacesuit, not really sure what's happening in this episode. And this new scene is of a brand new TVA judge, like Renslayer. Like this seems like whoever's leading this version of the TVA. You can tell she's like the highest ranking official there because she's got the special sash on. Renslayer was the only person we saw wearing the sash like that during season 1. There's a scene of Mobius yelling at Loki through that porthole in the metal door that he just stepped through. There's another scene of Loki falling through mid-air outside the TVA like he's jumped outside from one of the TVA buildings. Then after they played the Loki Season 2 title, they had a little trailer post-credit scene. Like this wouldn't be a Marvel trailer if the trailer itself didn't have a post-credit scene, where he and Mobius are sitting at a desk inside a new cafeteria room. So it's similar to the cafeteria scenes that they had in Season 1 where they're both talking to each other about some big plan that they have. Except this is way cooler looking because the room that they're in is like this circular matrix looking room, like the architect's room had all the monitors around them in this circular room. Except this is a cafeteria they're sitting in, so these are all like lunch receptacles around them where they can grab food. And Loki's joking with Mobius about how everybody in his life has told him he's a terrible person. Like he's being hard on himself, and Mobius replies saying, "Who said that you were?" Like who said that you were bad? And Loki lists off like all the Avengers characters. He references a bunch of scenes from the first Avengers movie, from the Marvel Phase 1 movies. Because remember, this version of Loki's story in the regular MCU movies ended with the events of the first Avengers movie. He references the Iron Man scene, then he references the Captain America scene. He mentions the Black Widow scene of her dressing him down verbally. Then he mentions the Coulson scene, like another big Coulson reference in the MCU. He references Thanos, but remember, the Thanos scene that he's mentioning would have had to have been when he first met Thanos, not the Infinity War scene. Like, there's this whole storyline of Loki's that they skipped over when he first went to Thanos and made the bargain with him. He mentions the Nick Fury scene where Nick Fury was putting him in that prison. He mentions his father Odin yelling at him. He mentions Thor yelling at him. Those are all during the events of the first Thor movie. Then he references the events of Loki Season 1 when he says Miss Minutes yelled at him, then references the many times that Mobius yelled at him in Season 1. Because remember, the timeline has changed, so technically this version of Mobius has no memories of what happened during Season 1, so like Loki has to re-explain everything to him. There'll be 6 episodes total, and obviously this will tie in with the movies and lead up to what's happening in Avengers 5, Kang Dynasty, and then Avengers 6, Secret Wars. But if you spotted any other Easter eggs in the trailer footage that I didn't talk about in the video, or any big questions about what's happening during Season 2, just write them below in the comments. I will do more trailer videos as we get more footage, because there is still a lot of stuff that they haven't revealed yet. My full House of the Dragon Episode 6 video will post tomorrow. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss that. Everyone click here for my other Loki Season 2 first look video at that other brand new footage. And click here for my House of the Dragon Episode 6 video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.